So now we're going to cover high-risk airway. This process actually started June 14th, but in actuality, there's still things evolving as far as orders coming through and things like that. So if you do have a high-risk airway, there's various things that can be considered a high-risk airway. One of which is a difficult intubation. If the doctor feels that they had an anatomical issue and they were having problems, I think about it, a new trach below 10 days, the stoma could snap back very quickly in an emergent situation if you lose the airway. So that would be considered high risk in a lot of situations. There is any neck abnormalities or trauma or swelling or even high support requirements. If it's a patient's on a high PEEP or high ventilatory support, they could designate the airway as high risk. The order will be put in by the physician, and if it's already open and going, and if you just type in high risk, it does pop up in Cerner. So let's talk about what kind of things happen when it is designated high risk. One of which is the signage will be at the outside of the room, at the head of the bed, and then this little sticker here will be part of the endotracheal tube's pilot balloon. So it'll be placed around that. So there's plenty of information there available. So they also want to have a designated airway protector for any patient repositioning on these patients. It doesn't necessarily have to be us if we're busy in another room, but I highly suggest if you are available that you be the airway protector for these patients. So let's say even with all these precautions and things that something happens and the airway is displaced, maybe they pull it out themselves. You immediately call for help and activate code airway. Here at Sharp Memorial, you would dial *** to activate code airway overhead. The code airway will page RCP code team, RRT, and on-call pulmonologist. At this point, the trauma surgeon is not initially called. I'm sure if it was a trauma patient, they would be notified. The RCP code team will respond with regular and difficult intubation box, glidoscope, and disposable bronchoscope setup. So the RRT will also respond if code airway is activated outside of the ICU, which it has been in the past. So when you think about it, you're bringing everything into the room that you potentially will need. The only thing that's not there is the cric tray, but for most of these, you're going to not have to leave the room once you're there. So the code team that's responding is regular box, difficult box. The difficult airway boxes are located in the ABG labs, and then downstairs also. The glidoscope and a complete disposable bronchoscope setup will already be sent to the room, so you shouldn't have to leave, and you should have all the tools that you need at your disposal. So if you see that code airway and you don't see the signage up, remind the nurses. Again, any questions, see myself or Tice. And also, if you see the airway management order come up on the Larry tube, please do not DC that order. Thank you.